Hey everybody, this is Dan Stolbarger. It's time for our weekly Middle East update. And as usual, the times in which we're living, I just try to push this further and further back because at any time, major breaking news can take place. But I've done all I can up to this point in time, so let's just jump in. Again, it's the week of February 27th. We're gonna look back on the events of this week. This behind me is our PDF PowerPoint. It's available on the YouTube page. Okay, so you can make sure you grab that because once again, normally we have more information on this PDF than we have time for in the YouTube. So let's jump in. We start with our news bites. Israel, Israel, Israel. That's the bottom line here with what's taken place with this massive military buildup. The USS Gerald Ford, I think the largest aircraft carrier on the planet, has arrived in Israel today. It's harboring in Haifa or whatever. And so that, along with the USS Abraham Lincoln, another aircraft carrier, and massive amounts of jets, refuelers, F-35s, F-22s, etc. So once again, we're holding our breath to see what's going to take place. This morning, the U.S. Embassy in Jerusalem announced voluntary authorized departures for non-emergency embassy staffs. An email from Mike Huckabee to his embassy staff. He stressed that if they want to leave the country, they should do it today. And then from the reports that I'm reading, I continue to receive kind of through the Iranian channels, the vibe. It seems like the conclusion is unmistakable. It doesn't seem as if the Ayatollahs are very impressed with the American military buildup. They see it, they read it as sort of posturing, but not intent. What they are concerned about, by contrast, is the operational preparations that they're seeing taking place in Israel with a prospect of a Israel strike. That gives them great concern. Vice President Vance, to the Washington Post, wants to make a clear statement. He's saying, while the attacks are still being considered, and then here it is, there is no chance this will lead us into a prolonged war. And then for the U.S., the truth is that you can't enjoy superpower status without ensuring that you truly are one. And if the U.S. backs down at this point in time from a military option, I think the results would be disastrous. I think it would serve as a catalyst for China in regards to Taiwan. So once again, there are a lot of things brewing at this point in time. So that's our news bites. Let's go into our major articles. The U.S.-Iranian negotiation. Again, here's the bottom line. In reality, yesterday there was zero progress in the negotiations. And so the Iranian ministers are coming out sounding so optimistic. They simply want to create the impression, especially among the America First crowd, that if there is a potential war, that it would be solely because of Israel, and that in reality, there's no legitimate reason for it. And this is what we're seeing being built up is, why does America care so much about Israel? Is it Israel first or is it America first? And this is the Megyn Kellys, and this is the Tucker Carlsons, and so on. So they want to posture it in a way where it's like, hey, it's all about Israel if they go to war. Now this just in, Iran responds to the travel warnings that we've talked about with one of its own. This is from Iran. They say, quote, leave the UAE, leave Kuwait, leave Qatar, Bahrain, and Jordan immediately. If it's not possible to leave, completely avoid approaching an American military base, its sites, its hotels, its ports, its commercial centers, anything that's associated in the Middle East with the United States, avoid it at all cost. Again, tit for tat. And then this article's entitled, Israel, You Go First. There's thinking, it seems, around the US administration that politically speaking, it would be a lot better if Israel goes first and strikes the Iranians. Because then when they retaliate, it will give the US more reasons to take action. So once Israel attacks Iran, they claim that it'll be politically better because it will justify why we're joining the war. And again, because the polls, citing the polls, the data is showing that Americans are a bit ambivalent towards a wide-scale war with Iran. And then what's going on with the production of rockets and missiles in Iran? News is leaking that Iran is producing ballistic missiles armed with chemical and biological capabilities in preparation for this sort of military confrontation with the United States and Israel. And here's the quote, we know that they have the capacity to send a warhead that is chemical. We know that they're producing ballistic missiles around the clock, and that the ballistic missiles that they are producing now are much more sophisticated than the ones that they shot in the 12-day war in last year. So in Middle East envoy Steve Witkoff alerts those that have ears to hear. He says they're probably a week away from having industrial-grade bomb-making materials. And so when you do the math and you realize you're crossing off dates of when Trump said you got 10 days and everything, the bottom line is we're looking at something very soon, potentially major taking place. For Israel, rockets, ballistic rockets, missiles, this is nothing new for them. Over the last 20 years, Israel has experienced well over 50,000 rockets and missiles that have been shot, whether from Gaza, from Iran, from Hezbollah, shot into Israeli towns and cities. And then this is of great concern for Israel in the here and now, right now. It's called the Doomsday Order, and Hitler called it his Nero Decree. So in March 1945, when the Allies were already on German soil, advancing towards Berlin, he signed an order to burn all the bridges, destroy all local industry, and leave behind nothing but scorched earth. A fierce debate is taking place in the upper floors right now of the IDF headquarters and the lower levels of the bunkers beneath. It concerns the possibility or the possible existence of a parallel Iranian directive, 3 words long, the Doomsday Order. If such an order does exist, it would not deal with destroying Iranian infrastructure like this Nero Decree, but rather it would be whatever you got, use it. Fire everything that we have, not just us, but that directive to Hamas, the Houthis, and Hezbollah as well. So that's the Doomsday Order that Israel is very concerned about at this moment. And then just sort of wrap up, I'll leave this for you to read. The Great Isaiah Scroll, the original, not a facsimile, is now available to be seen in the Israeli Museum until I think June 6th. Only they created a special room, 25 people, climate controlled, but it's amazing to think about this document, this scroll that's 2,100 years old. And even the significance of Isaiah at this point in time, where we can read portions that say, nation shall not lift up sword against nations, or we can read, comfort ye my people. And so if you get a chance, we're probably gonna try to take it in ourselves, but this is one of a kind, obviously. And then a couple things on Tucker Carlson, if you're interested in his rants and his edits, I've included that as well. So that's our report for this week. Like I said, we may do a special report whenever, whatever transpires and takes place. So this is Dan, Holy Ground, Kafir, Middle East Update. God bless you. Shabbat Shalom, and see you next week.